Welcome to DFS Karma, where we talk about our favorite fantasy sports plays for football, basketball, baseball, and pretty much everything else. Be sure to check out and create an account with all of our partners, such as MonkeyKnifeFight.online, PrizePicks.online, and StatHero.online. Use the promo code KARMA on any of these sites to get an exclusive deposit bonus. And don't forget to check out all of our free fantasy content on DFSKarma.com, as well as our own premium plays. Without further ado, let's get the show on the road. Please welcome today's hosts.
Hello, Karma Nation. Welcome back to the next edition of the Teeing It Up podcast. I am your host, AC. I have my co-captain, as always, Sam. Sam, how are you doing tonight, my man? How was last weekend in DFS? How was the betting circuit? How was prop plays? What'd you do? Real world?
Yeah, real world. I mean, we know that tournament sucked, so I barely watched any of it. We were just talking offline. My cash game was dead, and whatever. I barely played cash last week. And after Sung Kang went from 4 under on his first 9 to 7 over on his next 9, but yeah, dude, I had an ultimate tilt yet again because my main lineup was looking like a 6 for 6, and that was going to be an auto break even until Nick Watney did what he's good at doing, which is screwing me over. He went 6 over through his last 4 holes, and then Von Taylor bogeyed his last hole, and then Russell Knox I was like, this is an epic collapse I've never seen before. So I hate that tournament. Next year I'm gonna just skip it because I was so tilted.
You've had the biggest roller coasters start to a DFS season in the last 4 weeks alone. I feel like every week something drastic's happening. That's pretty funny. I did not experience 1 nanosecond of the tournament. I saw the scores. I was following the scores in the background, but it felt, unlike the previous week, it honestly kind of felt good not to be too in the trenches. I was actually in Arizona, played some golf. That was awesome. Little scramble action out there. It was just great to be in the sun, to be honest, because as you know, in Cleveland, we don't get much of it. I feel like it's gray skies, even though it's been a warm winter, right? I mean, for you and I both, you're in Chicago. So that was my weekend. I played a bunch of golf, and I got hammered in DFS. I think I had $2,000 out and pulled back $650. So I definitely lost. I did not win an MME for Sam, a 4th straight week. So shout out to those tracking out there. So cash lineups, I was dead on Thursday. So I just really wasn't involved, but it was weird. The one takeaway and we'll quickly kind of start getting into this upcoming week. I was surprised to see Phil up there, but I wasn't, because we talked about him on the previous podcast is an outlier that people were going to fade. So ultimately, Phil, I had a GPP. As always, my method for me, I play a main lineup and generally 2 or 3 tournament lineups. And I had a Phil, a Spieth, Maverick McNeely. We talked about him last week on the podcast. To be honest, I didn't even think it was a good lineup. And the joke was, I was texting Sam, I think right after I landed after the tournament, because shout out to Dave, who hit a NASCAR play in our Bet Karma Discord. I was just shocked to open my app and see I came in 2nd place in one of those qualifiers, but my lineup wasn't that great. So it just goes to show you that there are certain weeks where I don't think you need the nuts a 6 of 6, especially when there's random guys winning the tournament. I mean, I didn't have Nick Taylor in that lineup. So
no, I mean, my mental note, that tournament is I'm next, if I play it next year, even though I say I'm not, it's going to be play DJ and then play some 6K scrub. It's just not, that's just the way to do it. Because that tournament breeds the most rent. I think Nick Taylor, the betting was 160 to 1 or something, but I have no idea.
Crazy. So now we head to, at least this is one of, if not my favorite tournaments of the year, non-majors. This course is freaking awesome. I don't know if you played this. I know you played a bunch of big tournaments or courses.
No, I wish. But number 10 might be one of the coolest holes in the PGA Tour. It's awesome.
So your article was great. This week I was able to get to it beforehand. So why don't you just give the quick elevator speech macro level on the course itself? Your breakdown was really great. What we kind of expect to see this week. And if you just want to talk real quick, kind of game theory quickly, and then I'll add my 2 cents to it, and then we'll start kind of rolling through the players on the DraftKings. Shout out to DraftKings, by the way. at dfskarma.com. We are premier sponsors with them. They are hooking us up kind of weekly now. It's pretty cool. Free rolls. I think there's a $500 or $1,000 free roll this Wednesday night. So get into that. I mean, it's free. You guys know you're going to be playing an NBA lineup anyways. Just get in there and free money in there. So Sam, talk to me about what we expect to see this week at the Riviera.
Yeah, I mean, it's so like this. I mean, I mentioned it in our Discord. I mean, this field is like major-esque. I mean, like 9 of the top 10 in the world are here. I mean, this price thing is like on par with majors because it's so soft. And, this course is kind of sneaky long because, it looks like 7,300 yards, but then you look at it, you're like, okay, number 10 is a drivable par 4, like the coolest hole to watch. And then all the par 5s are really short, including number 1, which has like this insane birdie rate. So this is a long course. You're not going to see that like 25 under winning score. It's more like 15 or something like that. So guys have to avoid these big numbers. I mean, the fairways are pretty thin. From a game theory perspective, I mean, I'm looking at guys, like I said, with, number 1, I'm going to go I think everyone's going to go the balanced route because there's some guys who are like priced absurdly. But I think I'm going to go kind of the stars and scrubs because there is so much like talent up top, and like the quote unquote scrubs, like low 7s guys, are like really good players. So that's my approach probably for my GPP stuff. But given my track record the last 4 weeks, we should be full fading every strategy I'm doing.
Everything that Sam says.
Yeah, dude, like do the opposite. Like it's insane. But I mean, I don't know. I think course history like matters. I mean, you have these guys who just compete well here every single year. And one thing I will say is, I know I said it on the pod a couple weeks ago, I was like, oh, I hate people talk about driving distance, but like literally only big hitters seem to win this tournament, at least the last like 7 years. So I think there's definitely a bump to those. Not that short hitters can't do well, but in terms of like picking a winner and picking, high upside guys, I lean with the guys who crush it. I mean, JB Holmes was fat ass one here last year, and he's a bomber.
Yes, sir. I think we might have a moment here real quick, Sam. I got to tell you, the reason why I liked you a long time ago was I got to say I appreciate your transparency. Like you've had a wild DFS golf opening to the season, and like I love that you just talk about it. And I feel like, again, that's what we do. We're going to come out here and we're going to tell you how it went, for better or worse. So that kind of sums up that. For me, it's very similar. Like, obviously I'm looking into the big bombers. I think everybody knows that this week. But game theory wise, something I'm going to continue to do more and more of this year is really talk more high level 3 max entry strategy in game theory, right? So like you said, I do think you're correct. I think the balanced lineup is going to be somewhat popular, right? And I totally believe that's probably even optimal. Like, let's just start kind of getting into it. By the way, real quick, before I get yelled at by Travis eventually, dfskarma.com, go check out that free roll. That DraftKings on there. All of our content is on the website, and you can check out some of the other products and things that we have going on over at dfskarma.com, as well as our newly launched website, betkarma.com. Okay. In my opinion, Dustin Johnson, like if you're looking at stats, courtesy of friends at Fantasy National Golf Club, shout out to them. Like DJ just doesn't look good, right? According to stats. And this is another thing I was trying to think about earlier today, like thinking about the podcast. It's like, I'm not even looking at that right now. Like, I feel like early in the year, I've had success early in the year, the last few years, is to kind of like not overthink it too much. So I feel like I made a really awesome main optimal build. I'm not even changing it, dude. Like, I like my lineup. I like where some of these guys are really priced this week. If I lose this week, I'm not even going to be mad. Like, I already know I like my lineup a lot. I feel like you can do that a couple of ways. And one is, like you said, the balanced approach. But I will say there are some really, really, really interesting combinations you can make pairing a Rory and a JT, right? I think that's like my next strategy. One's going to be a balanced build with Dustin Johnson. I mean, 10,000, like we talked about earlier this week.
That's an absolutely ridiculous price, dude.
That's ridiculous. People are going to come on to these podcasts out there. I haven't really listened to anything and probably look at his stats and, whatever. You want to toss a red flag at some of the stats recently, I get it. But I don't know, man. That's not how I'm doing stuff early in the season. And frankly, ever. I feel like I look more into long-term stats. But obviously, Rory.
Hey, dude, I got to say it about DJ. This is shaping up. Last year, there was a time, and someone like, you look at DJ, it's like he has like 2 top 10s in his last like 10 starts, and he was injured and everything. I looked back and remember last year before one tournament, I was like, dude, his stats look like crap, and it's because his putting is just so bad. And I was like, he is putting so away from his baseline, and it is exactly what's happening right now. For him to come out and storm this field would be so not shocking. Once he starts making everything, like on Sunday, he's playing in a 1,000,000-hour round. He can't make anything. He's playing with Wayne. Like, why I would be shooting 80. I mean, it's like that sounds. I mean, I think DJ at any time can flip the switch, and once he starts putting well, he is going to absolutely storm the field.
So obviously they're on POA too. He's historically a pretty good POA putter. I'm actually filtering stats right now on Fantasy National, and I'm looking at the last 100 rounds. So it's really like a season or two or whatever it turns out to be. He ranks literally first in almost every category. I mean, it's like kind of like Rory, whatever, but when you bake into POA, I'm just going to go with the history there and the long term. Before we move on, we can talk all day about these guys up top. Again, John Rahm is probably going to be the guy that goes overlooked, don't you think?
Yeah, I mean, everyone
relatively speaking.
Oh yeah, because like you have like Rory at 20%, JT at 20%. If Rahm is like 12% owned, I'm gonna have him like quadruple the field. I mean, that's like ridiculous.
Yeah, he easily could win here. I haven't looked at ownership yet, but I would just assume that he's going to be the odd man out. Real quick before we move on, I'll give you the mic real quick about your boy Tiger. I generally fade him more often than not. I've talked about why a million times on these podcasts and in our Discord chats with our premium subscribers. I get it. Like, Tiger's the host, blah, blah, blah. He's a California guy. I don't know. Doesn't he not even have great record here? I just tend to fade the ownership. Although I will say real quick, he's going to be lower owned. I mean, he just is. People are catching on now.
Yeah, I mean, it's like his one course he's played at, like however many times he's never won, which is like a thing. And yeah, I mean, he didn't play it for a long time, and last year he came like 15th or something. He had like that 6 start to a third round and then fell apart. But I don't know. I mean, I will always play Tiger. It's like I would never like not play him at least in one. Like I wouldn't play him in cash. I wouldn't play him in my main one. But I think he's an excellent tournament play because literally those 3 guys are going to soak up everything, and then you have DJ, who's so underpriced, and Cantlay and a chalky Bubba Watson that like I don't think Tiger's going to get over 10%. I really don't. And he can win anytime. Yeah,
no doubt. So to summarize, DJ, easy play for cash lineups. Like, he's just too cheap. Really interesting combo play with McIlroy plus JT, and then Rahm looks like your leverage play for like a 3-man max kind of look at it up top. All right, I'm going back to you. Let's talk with Patrick Cantlay. Let's go down to Rose, because obviously he's a talking point. So let's keep it. This is a really important range. So Cantlay, to me, I feel like he's going to go overlooked too, right? Because everyone's going to play Bubba, right?
I can't decide. Yeah, I thought that too. I don't know. I feel like Cantlay is going to be popular, but then I'm like, how can he be with everyone owning DJ? Yeah, I mean, Bubba. I put in my article, Bubba like could very well win this week. Like, I will probably, like you did, probably bet him and not play him at DFS at all. I mean, I can't. He's going to be 20+%. I can't play a chalk Bubba. That's just never works.
Yeah, I agree. And we talked about this the last couple of weeks too. This is a shorter man field, I think. I read in your article, which I didn't realize at first.
Yeah, it's like 120.
So, okay, so if that's the case, then screw it. All these guys are going to be freaking 15% owned. Like, so at the end of the day, guys, sometimes these podcasts, even us included in the past, sometimes people talk about things way too much. Like, play the freaking couple guys that you want to play. These guys are all going to be owned. I think you just need a couple of unique pivots, especially once you get down to the lower range. And we'll kind of talk about that as well. Because up top, all these guys are going to be owned. It's just a matter of the combination.
You're not finding leverage like 9K and above. You're just not.
You're just not. These are all great plays. But I agree with you. Bubba is, although he's on fire and his course history is nuts, and I've won 15K here with him 2 years ago. I mean, I'll have exposure. I do have an outright bet on him, but I think I'm going to be way underweight just because. Like, I don't know. I feel like he is priced really high. How about Brooks? What's with his knee? I guess I didn't even really realize he was hurt, but man, we like to joke that we've seen this movie before, right? I feel like I've seen this before. Everybody in the industry talks on Koepka. He's not there, blah, 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 and then he just wins. So I don't know. I don't know what to do with
I
him.
wouldn't be shocked if he wins. I'm not, dude. He hasn't looked that good. I mean, he's come back on the Euro Tour, those events. He has not looked like that great. I mean, plus it's not a major, so he probably doesn't care. So I don't know. I never play Brooks because like he was like
I kind of don't either.
Yeah, he's just not like a great. I never think of him as DFS play. I mean, I think he definitely will be under-owned. Like, I don't think he'll be owned at all.
Well, let's go to another guy real quick. Every other podcast or article, everybody loves Xander, and I get it. Sam and I tend to always agree on not hating him, but we just kind of fade him more often than not. To be honest, I'm probably fading him in my main lineup. Maybe that burns me, but I generally do it more often than not. I like other guys. We'll get to them, but I don't know. I'm kind of off that. Hideki's really interesting. I mean, this is a guy that ranks 5th in my model. Second in approach is something we're really looking for, especially with these small greens. Obviously, he's an elite ball striker. He ranks 5th for me. He ranks top 10 in DraftKings points, birdie or better percentage. Eagles, I mean, that's big this week in the par 5 game. And then opportunities gained, which is a really unique stat that I really love looking at. That just shows where a player is putting the ball at. And it really it takes out the equation of putting. So at the end of the day, these guys are going to get hot and cold and vice versa with putting. So I just kind of like to look and weight opportunities gained a little bit more. He ranks 2nd in my model. So like Hideki's right on the cusp. I mean, he's easily a cash game play. I'm assuming you're looking that route, maybe in cash games, if not. But Hideki, I think, is going to go overlooked, man.
Yeah, I don't know. Yeah, I think exactly with this field, people are going to play Bubba, and then they're going to drop down to like Finau and Adam Scott. I don't think they're going to. I mean, Hideki. Yeah, but we just said like he'll be owned, but he's not going to be like 30% owned or something. I don't know. My preferred play, and he's going to be chalky, but I don't care, is Adam Scott. I don't care if he hasn't been playing. He doesn't need to be playing. He's just so solid. He's good at this.
He's given me so much in my career, but I'm a little bit nervous on the whole not playing since November 3rd thing, right? Is it November 3rd when he played last?
Yeah, I mean, okay, so I have he last played. Yeah, I mean, his last played was at the PGA in Australia, and he won, which is like that's obviously a
course. I mean, he's got history here. I mean, he's quoted. I mean, unbelievable play. He should be chalky. I would play him in cash games, but I am a sucker for Tony Finau. So that's my drug addiction. Your drug of choice, I think, is Adam Scott. Mine's Tony Finau, and I'll be honest, like if you actually look at some of the stat projections out there, they're going to lean heavily towards Scott. I think Finau somehow is not popping as much according to some of these models. I think that Finau, though, this is just maybe my eye test when I was so involved in the web thing a couple weeks ago when I had that huge hit, on DraftKings there. I mean, again, I get it. Like, if I don't have somebody so in the race or I got something or it's just a tournament I don't like watching, I mean, generally, I'm probably not watching late on a Sunday. But I happen to be really paying attention, dude. And the one thing I took away from that is Finau's interviews, both days, he was absolutely stressing on how he's never been more laser focused with accuracy with his drives. That like struck a bell with me. And I was kind of like trying to filing that away because Finau, that's been his one bugaboo over his career is he gets wild at times, right? And then he's just like anyone. I mean, if you're completely wild, I feel like you can throw yourself out of the tournament quick. But he's lacing those drives, dude, right down the fairway. He was first in accuracy in round 4 and 3 in the Phoenix Open. So that's just something to think about. And I think that's why my gut's kind of leaning there.
My thing is he seems to be even better this year than Nomi is. He's always a ball striking machine. I just think he is putting so much above his baseline that when it kind of goes back to the, reverts to the mean, it's just not going to be there. I mean, I think this is unfortunately, I just feel like a letdown spot. It comes off a tough loss. Yeah, he's like I don't think he's a mental midget at all, but like, dude, he gained over 4 and over 5 strokes putting his last 2 rounds and didn't win. Like,
he's good on POA too. I mean,
yes. Yeah. I'm just saying like, he, on average, gains like 0.1 strokes putting, and over his last 8 rounds, he's gained over 1 a round. Like that, dude, that's just not good.
He has something I like to evaluate. He's got one of the best odds per dollar of anybody on this entire slate. That's something that I really kind of caught my eye.
Yeah, I have the same. Yeah, I mean, everything checks out. I just don't. I mean, in that range, like who would you trust to have a top 5? Between him, Scott, Xander, and Hideki, would you pick Finau?
Right now it'd be Finau 1, Hideki 2, Scott 3. That easily changes in during a season when like these guys are in form. I'm telling you, man, I don't trust Adam Scott. I know he loves this course. I would love for you to prove me off air or in the Discord chat that Adam Scott is coming here cold after not playing for 3 months. That's curious. I know you can't do that research right now, but I'm curious to see if somebody would have that stat because I don't know. That's just me. I'm not.
Well, no, it's funny. Like we don't know if he's like sitting at his mansion playing. Like I have no idea.
Right.
Like I don't know. I just trust him.
Anyway.
Like you said. I mean, we both look at long term over short term. I just trust Scott long term.
Let's roll down real quick. Jason Day, I like secretly love him this week, but that's just me. I think 8,800 to steal. I think he's kind of in form. I think people hate him, period, in DFS, and I always love taking it. I'm trying to take more advantage of people's emotions, especially in DFS golf this year. It's like one thing I'm trying to focus on, and I know Day's always going to go under owned.
Yeah, I'm not. I just don't. I don't know. I know he played
terrible
well last
history
week.
here. Legit terrible history here.
Yeah, I just don't.
So.
I feel like if he's not luck boxing all those, like last week, I was about to lose my mind. I mean, like literally chipping it in and like making. I was. Like,
that's what he does, though.
It's so annoying. It's like everyone hates when Steve does it. I hate when Day does it. That makes me so much more mad.
He's done that for so long. I mean, trust me, I personally really don't like Day either. But again, it's golf, right? So that's just kind of how I'm thinking. Totally tournament only play. All right, I want a big question for you, Justin Rose. Obviously, he's like mispriced. I feel like if you're not paying for DJ, you better have Justin Rose in your lineup. If not, send me a head-to-head because I feel like if you don't play Dustin Johnson, you better have Rose in there because you'll have all the salary in the world. I'm finding it hard if I want to play Dustin Johnson in my like cash lineup main build that I don't know right now if I want Rose. I know I probably should. It's probably a mistake. This is definitely my trap this week. I think I should play Rose in my main build, but I don't know if I'm going to have him in there.
Yeah, I don't know. I like wrote in my article. I get like he's the 10th ranked player in the world. He's 8,500, and that's a terrible price. Obviously, he's going to be mega chalk because of the price mistake. I just don't want any part of that. I mean, I'm already eating so much chalk otherwise. Rose looked so bad at Torrey Pines, which is like same grass type and everything like that. I like he looked terrible. So I don't really have a ton of interest in Rose. I'd much rather pivot from Rose to the greatest villain on the tour and Patrick Reed. I think he's a sick player.
I love that. We've been talking about him for like 4 weeks, playing him more this year.
They don't play him. They're like, he's an asshole, so I can't play. So stupid.
This is the type of course I could totally see him on Sunday somehow in the he's a grinder, man. I mean, Jesus. Since November, 8th place finish, 3rd at the Heroes, 2nd at the Tournament of Champions. He missed the Sony Cup, but who cares? He's in Hawaii. 6th at the Farmers. He won the Northern Trust back in August. I mean, this guy's just like always right there, man.
No, and like again, people won't play him again. Like obviously it favors bombers. He's not even like a short hitter. He's just short compared to like Brooks and DJ. So you have to save par here, and he does that so well. So I like him. Are you gonna play Spieth again?
No, I'm not playing Spieth this week. He's still too short, and he was still spraying it off the tee. I know his approach is a lot better, right?
He might win next week. I think he's gonna win.
Not. I will say, I guess it's not the worst. Looking at, I literally just clicked as you were talking about him. Wow, he gained 5 strokes with his approach.
Yeah, dude. On Sunday, when everyone else shot like 100,
that's like the old Spieth, man.
Dude, I know he shot like 67 in the wind, like chipping in on his last hole. People were so pissed, like classic lucky Spieth.
Yeah, I mean, but that part's not luck if it's not putting in around the green.
A guy I like as we move down this range. So I like Morikawa. He's going to be super popular. I'm going to play him anyway because he's such a beast. But Abraham Answer is definitely overvalued and overpriced, but he's been so good. I'm definitely playing him. He's not going to be owned because he's like, that's a bad price. He should be at the
Answer's a baller. To your point, though, about putting with Finau, he did gain 4.5 strokes, FYI, into AMX, but I do like him. Dude's a boss. I remember playing this guy, looking at my final thoughts notes in 2018. Like, dude, this dude was like 6,500. And I was he was like one of the few guys I caught. I caught Koepka on his rise, and Answer was another that I rode. And yeah, now it's crazy where he's at right now. But I like that play a lot. People still won't play him because they don't really know him.
It's a bad price, dude. Like he shouldn't be 8,200, and that's ridiculous in this field. But
Is Morikawa, does he got distance?
Answer?
Does Morikawa have distance?
Oh, Morikawa? No, I mean, he's like average. He's not like a big hitter. Dude, his iron game is just insane.
So good. His iron game is so freaking good.
He ranks number 1 in approach for me. Better than Tiger. That's saying something.
Hey, that's crazy.
I play Sungjae every week. He's so good. I know you're going to play Bryson.
Oh, yeah. I mean, that's just – I mean, you're like giving away my lineup, but yeah, he's a freaking lock. I mean, that's kind of what I was imploring. That's my theme for this podcast, and maybe it bites me. Okay, tell me why. Tell me he gained too much weight. Just tell me why. Because I'm sorry, 7,900. I'm like laughing at that price.
No, it's a good. I think Bryson is going to be like such an elite play in like a couple weeks when he is almost figured out with his like new muscle, his like irons. He hasn't quite figured out yet. He still like is kind of making like he is kind of shitty. He kills the ball now. He just like I don't know. He still misses a lot of greens, and like I don't know. That price is absurd, and like that he could easily win this week. I just would rather play a really chalky Paul Casey at 7,900 and have him burn me again.
Well, what about playing them both though?
Dude, Bryson is just like I'm not even an anti-Bryson guy. Like I like that everyone hates him. He drives me crazy because he's so.
I like Bryson.
No, he played faster. I like him. I don't know. He just doesn't make. I mean, he just hasn't shown like any like a ton of upside recently. I mean, except he played well in Europe a couple weeks ago, but then he got put on the clock and like fell apart.
Yeah, dude, I saw that. I mean,
it's hilarious.
I just feel so. Have you read any interviews? Because now I'm more curious. I don't want you to talk me off the ledge. I get it. He's not the same player that he was. I mean, but dude, he's just too cheap.
No, I agree. He's too cheap. I'm just saying, when I have like, when I'm being a nerd and like watching the actual like guys, like not tilting over Shot Tracker, his irons are just like not.
Man, maybe I gotta find some $200 and get the Colin Morikawa because he's literally like just so lock steady. I mean, I feel like
the only
Morikawa is legit gonna get a top 20.
Yeah, the only knock against him played here. It's not gonna talk me off of him, but if you wanted like an argument against Morikawa, he hasn't played here, but that doesn't really. I thought the same thing a couple weeks ago, and he came like top 20. Dude, Morikawa has come top 25 his last like 4 tournaments, and he has lost like 4 strokes putting every round.
Yeah, I'm looking at that right now. Like, dude, the waste management, he lost 5 strokes putting. Like, is that even possible? I mean, my God, he should. So you got to figure just law of averages regression. That should have been a top 10. Call it top 15. Whatever, but.
Hard. Yeah,
but it's 8,100. If he locks you in, like, yeah, maybe me getting off Bryson in my main lineup will kick me in the balls, but I'll have enough Bryson. Me, I'll be overweight Bryson everywhere else. So maybe I will consider that because I kind of was debating that 2v2 between him and Bryson. Anyways, let's move on. This mid to low 7K range is when it gets interesting, to say the least. So what's your high level thoughts on that?
Yeah, I mean, I said I came to the week saying I might play Sergio because his stats look terrible because he hasn't played on the tour in like a couple months, and so like he's not going to pop any stat models. He's actually been playing decent. I just am not there. I'd rather go cheap, and I'm not playing JB Holmes because he's an asshole. But I don't know, dude. I'm going to keep riding Max Homa's form. He like hits the ball pretty far. He's 7,500. He's in like a good course comp this week is Quail Hollow, and he won at Quail Hollow last year. I think Max Homa would be a sick play at 7,500.
I love Max Homa. I'm playing him. I think I'm going to have – there's that $100 tournament. I'm for sure going to have 5 lineups.
Yeah.
Max Homa is going to be in one of them. So if I can get 20% exposure to him, I'm going to feel real good because we just got to ride that hot wave, right? Like, that's not going to last. At least I don't think so.
No, I mean, he's playing great. Exactly.
No Kuchar for me. Man, Sergio, real quick. Can we talk about Sergio again? I was considering him as one of those players in a main lineup. I didn't realize how bad he has been, though. So, wow.
Okay, like he has. Okay, so I wrote. I mean, I put a couple. So if you look, I have like Euro.
But he hasn't really played, though. He hasn't really played, right?
No, I mean he's played in the Euro, not the PGA.
Okay.
But so I'm saying, like, I mean, you look at his Euro stats. He's like 14th tee to green. in the Euro. I mean, it's like he's not been playing. He just still sucks so bad at putting. It's just really hard to trust him on these greens.
Yeah. So you would still take Morikawa over Sergio?
Oh, dude, I'm playing Morikawa in cash, and he'll probably be my main lineup.
Yeah.
So I'd probably play him.
I like that call.
Yeah, I mean, Sergio, I don't know. I mean, again, I think Sergio is underpriced for his long-term talent, but I just don't know. I don't know where he's at really in his true game.
So you started talking about Scheffler. You like him?
Yeah, he keeps burning me, but this seems like a good setup for him. He hits the ball pretty sneaky far. He makes a ton of birdies, and he's good with his irons. So I like him. Dude, are we going back to Noren? I think I might.
No, he wasn't. I will say he was in my main lineup earlier today, and I had some time to go through this before. I don't know. There was a couple red flags I saw, and I got off him. So I'm probably not going there in cash. I think he is cash playable, though. But something, I forget what it was. I was really diving into Noren, and I think it's his par 4 long. He looked like he's not good par 4 long game. Yeah, he gained a ton of strokes putting last week. To me, that was a red flag there. He lost strokes with his approach shot. He lost 1.8 strokes. So I still think he's playing well enough. I kind of rode him for a little bit there to start the year. But I think if he becomes popular, because I have a feeling that's the case, I'm probably going to be off him in cash. I'd rather get my boy, dude, Joaquin Niemann. I mean, come on. This guy it's a legend in the making. This dude should be 8,000 at least, I feel like. And I get it. I don't know. He hasn't really played, has he? I haven't seen him since we started. At least I don't think. Oh, the Farmers. I guess he was there. 49 finish. Yeah. He's just too talented.
I'll be pissed. I mean, he's gained an approach in his last 9 tournaments in a row. I mean, he's so good. If he could putt, oh my God.
Yeah, 100% I'd prefer Niemann. Niemann just has way more upside than Noren. Noren, I do like him. I played him a lot in my past, but he's a little bit too safe. And Niemann can at least score. And I think weather actually looks okay. I didn't see any wind yet, by the way. How about Cameron Champ? This dude we talked about in the last couple of weeks. I mean, he's gonna crush. So why don't you like him? Short game.
His short game is so bad. He cannot chip. It's amazing. He's so bad.
You do need it here with that Kakua grass, right?
So bad. I mean, you have to. Yeah. I can't wait to hear that 8,000 times on the CBS broadcast this week.
Yeah.
Kakua grass.
Nonstop.
No, dude. I'd rather go pivot from Champ and just take my missed call with Keegan Bradley. That's what I'm doing this week.
Keegan Bradley. I like him. Obviously, everyone likes him, but. Hey, I got a guy. So let's talk outside the box, right? Here, let's talk about some tournament winning plays, 5% if possible. I guess because it is a shorter field, I think everybody's gonna be 5% owned. How about a guy? I mean, I don't know if you can pull up any projections, but I have a feeling that no one's gonna own this guy. Cameron Smith. This guy, I'm telling you, nobody ever plays him. Nobody ever plays him. He's got some kind of killer instinct in him, dude. If he's in the race come the weekend, he stays around until Sunday, and then he lingers. I found a quote on him from a couple years ago saying that it was, the whole Scott likes this course. I don't know if it's an Aussie thing or what, but apparently this course reminds him of a bunch of his favorite courses back at home. And he loves playing here. I think what's his record here? It sounds like he's got an okay record. I don't have it in front of me. But anyways.
He's made all 4 cuts here. He had a 6th place in 2018. That's pretty solid.
Again, he's another guy that people just don't play in DFS. His stats won't wow you. There's no reason that people are drawn to him. We've grown in this bubble where you can find these stats readily available, and Cameron Smith never pops for me, ever. But he also pops very well on POA. And
dude, I thought you were going completely different. I thought you were going a completely more hilarious direction. I thought you were going to mention Kevin Na.
Oh, I like Kevin Na. I always play Kevin Na, dude. Kevin Na, a couple years ago, he won me so much money. I forget what tournament it was. I'm loyal to him. I play him way too much. It burns me a lot. I played him last week. I'm looking at his stats right now. He's number 1 POA putter in the tournament.
Dude, his short game is solid. I mean, the problem is I hate Kevin Na, but my second biggest win ever in PGA was a Kevin Na lineup, so I feel some loyalty to him. I don't know, dude. He's another guy. He's like you just said with Cameron Smith. He will miss 4 cuts and then withdraw and then come 3rd. Like it doesn't.
He's not gonna win this thing, but his price point, he easily could get you a top 15. Like no doubt, he easily could, dude. Look at his putting stats. He literally gains like 5 strokes a week minimum. Like the dude just doesn't miss putting. So
yeah,
at least
the only problem is he literally cannot hit the ball off the tee.
I know, but he's
Like,
good
dude,
with his approach shots, though.
Like he literally is like the Wesley Bryan of this current age. He cannot hit the fairway. It's insane. I mean, I mean Kevin Na. I thought.
Anyways.
I mean, talk about tournament winners. I mean, Corey Connors is 7,000.
Corey Connors will be chalk, right?
Oh,
what am I missing?
I have him at. Okay, I have him at like 7.5. Yeah, he'll probably get to like 10. That's like cheap chalk, dude. I can't believe you haven't mentioned Molinari. Francesco Molinari is 7,000.
I'll play him. I'm not going to play him in major lineups though. Then again, man, maybe I should. What's he been up to?
He is so bad.
When has he played last?
Dude, ever since Tiger bodied him at the Masters, he is like a shell of a man. It's like almost sad. His
stats are funny.
He's horrible.
I think he was who we thought he was, right?
Oh, no, exactly. Like he was riding a hot putter for like an entire summer, and everyone's like, "Oh my god, he's so good," and he wasn't.
Another guy we didn't mention, but I think he's gonna be popular, is probably Kokrak. He always draws a name on these tracks. You know, I'm just guessing that.
I don't want to get a 6 for 6. Yeah, I don't want to get a 6 for 6. So I'm playing Kokrak and cash. Yeah.
All right, let me check. Now I got to investigate. I'm surprised he's that popular, right? Okay, so let's see. What's Kokrak been up to?
Good. He's made his last 5 cuts here.
Oh, he's 5 for 5.
It's like made
Kokrak. I mean, yeah. So you would rather play him over Connors, huh? Because Connors did you wrong a couple of weeks ago. See, I feel like Connors is the play, man.
Yeah, the problem is I have such a loyalty to Connors, but like I mean that's a toss up because they're both so bad at putting. I mean, I think Connors is better.
I think Connors is better too at this point. I think Kokrak definitely. I see the merit as to why.
Yeah, I just realized I'm actually going to play Connors over Kokrak and cash. Yeah, I can't.
I mean, Kokrak's going to be more popular, I think, because he burned you, he burned everybody. Connors burned a lot of people recently, a couple times, right?
AC, do you realize like we're too expensive. I have my cash game lock is at 6,800. I play him every week. Already bet him top 20. What?
Is it Lanto?
No, I went, dude. Dude, how about that? That's another tilt from last week. He did me wrong like 3 weeks in a row. Jump off top 5. I was like, oh my god. No, dude. Carlos Ortiz, sneaky good history. He's finished worse than 26 here.
It's so funny. I've been like on him for a couple of years. I actually saw. It's funny you say that. He was in my final thoughts last year. He was the last guy in the pink column. So there's something about it. I don't know. I didn't even think about him. I didn't even know he was in this tournament this week. But he, again, biasy, right? He burned me at the Farmers. I think it was the Farmers. Pretty sure it was the Farmers.
Oh yeah,
so,
he put him in cash, and on the easy course, he put up like a 5 over. I was like, "You're dead to me till next week."
I'm definitely a little butthurt by that. I would not play Carlos Ortiz in cash though.
No, he's a case cash game play. Are you gonna go back to Patrick Rogers? You swore off last week.
No, dude. Fuck Patrick Rogers. I hope he hears this. I mean, I will never touch that guy again. The funny thing is, he sets up well for this course.
Oh,
he really
sets
does.
up perfectly. Like, I might play him.
And he's a good POA putter.
Oh, he's like next number 1 for me on POA putting.
Yeah, he's going to top 5 this week. I mean, let's be real. God, that was stressful last week.
Other punts, dude. Chaz Hoffman playing kind of low.
Hey, by the way, can we go back to Patrick Rogers? This is actually funny. So I spent the $16 egregious charge for Wi-Fi on the plane on the way to Arizona. And I mean, I kid you not, it can't even get worse than this. So I'm like, all right, sick. Like tournament started a couple hours ago, and like now I can kind of like follow some things, whatever. It wasn't airing, but I was able to like follow along. And as I opened up my laptop, I already missed the first couple hours just getting to the airport and all that. I kid you not, I opened the freaking scoring. Patrick Rogers is literally, he's not in dead last. That was David Duval, like plus 25. But he was in second last. And I was like, wait a second. The dude in my main lineup is already +5. Like, all right, I lost. So I lost interest in the whole tournament, like within, an hour, and I already wasted money on Wi-Fi. So that was my Patrick Rogers Wi-Fi
known
story.
to do that to you too. You should have known.
I knew it. Like, and we were talking about Streelman too, right? Like, didn't he like win basically? I'm so pissed. Like, I had Streelman in there. I wouldn't have won anything big, but then again, it would have been 5 or 6.
No, dude. If Nick Taylor hadn't like chipped in for Eagle on like his third to last hole, I think Streelman could have backdoored win that. Shout out to Streelman. He's such a goat. I wish he was playing this week.
He is a goat. I should have played him.
I'll probably play Sun Kang again because I'm a sucker.
Are you kidding me? That's another guy. I had him in one of my main tournament rosters. He's like, bro, he was 6 under or something. And I'm like, all right, Patrick Rogers dumped cash. My cash is out. But my tournament, I'm rocking. I got Sun Kang 6 under. And then I land, and 2 hours later, I eat food, and he's like +3. It's like, how is this even remotely possible?
Good long iron hitter, tournament history, 8th, 22nd, 16th, 64th. Pretty good.
Yeah.
I don't know. I don't like to let him burn it. Dude, no, I am playing this week who is absolutely going to miss the cut is Luke List.
Oh, I'm playing him. Isn't he 6,600?
Yeah, elite play.
I'm 100% playing him in one of my main tournament rosters. People hate Luke List. He's another guy. It's like, all right, dude, he's 6,600. I mean, he's gonna eagle. If he makes the cut, dude, he's gonna score points. That's the way I look at guys like Luke List. I don't even think twice. If he makes the cut, I don't even care what he finishes. It's like Keegan, right? As long as Keegan makes the cut, he's scoring you points at that point.
I'm finally not playing Vaughn Taylor, so I'd probably lock him in.
I don't know why you kept chasing Vaughn freaking Taylor.
He's like legit was good until I started playing. Like I cursed him.
Have you ever looked at his DraftKings picture? He looks like he's 75 years old. You can't play that guy.
But like last year, I played so much Stuart Sink, and that worked out for like 3 months. Stuart Sink was like a top 20 machine.
Who else am I looking at down here? Johnny Vegas. No one's gonna play Johnny. I am playing him in this track.
So bad.
Johnny Vegas is another Luke List, bro. Like, if he just makes the cut, it doesn't even matter. He's gonna have eagles. Dude, this course gives up the eagles, man. I mean, it's not the best scoring course in the world, but they give away eagles. So that you're gonna need those points. I'm telling you, dude. Not as many birdies, but you're gonna have some eagles.
My 2 punts, if you want to play like a Rahm Rory lineup, is to play like Harold Varner, which is for some reason $6,200. He sucks. And then Kevin Tway, who's not good at golf, but he hits the ball pretty far.
I always play Kevin Tway because he drives it far, like throughout the last 3 years, and it's literally never worked. So I can assure you, everyone that's listening, don't even click Kevin Tway because I actually thought about it. And then I was like, wait a second, I've never won $1 with Kevin Tway literally in my life. There's Emilio Grillo, our boy down there. He's another one. I'm never clicking his name again. I'm done.
No, I'm done. I kicked the grill.
He ranks top 5 in ball striking, approach, and greens and regulation. It's kind of like the perfect combo. And he's really good with his long irons. Again, you would think that Grillo is a good play this week, but trust me, go ahead, people. You can play him. See what happens. He's going to miss every putt. I don't know if there's anyone else down here. Oh, Wyndham Clark. I'm going to sprinkle him in. I don't think anyone will play him. He's kind of a baller. He spiked a couple times last year, and I think he's played – where did he pop this year? Somewhere he was up there.
MMA playing Aaron Wise, who's officially dust.
I played Aaron Wise last week. I mean, yeah. Did he miss the cut? I don't even remember. There's no one else down here. There's literally no one else down here. Back in the day, I used to play some Kevin Chappell. I don't know. There's some bad players. Oh, Bronson Burgoon's in the field. You never know with that guy.
I play Bronson
6,200. I've seen worse.
So often. If anyone wants to watch me tilt, I will be playing Nick Watney again. So if anyone wants to watch me do that.
I don't know why you would do that to yourself. He's so old. Just let him go.
Dude, he was like legitimately in like tied for 20th until like his 5th to last hole on Saturday. Like, it was like insane. I haven't seen a collapse like that since Keegan. I really haven't. It was insane.
And then he just blew up. All right. Well, that about does it. I feel like we definitely covered game theory. We talked about the top plays and the leverage spots. So with that being said, anything else you want to add to this podcast, Mr. Sam I Am?
Carlos Ortiz, top 20. Lock that in.
Come on, man.
8-1.
I will end on this. The more I look at things, your boy Morikawa, I'll give you the credit on that. I just keep underrating him. I don't know. I guess
I do too. No, the
8,100
reason I'm playing him is because I faded him for so many weeks, and it cost me for so many weeks in a row.
like he's not going to win, but man, it's hard to ignore just that safety net in cash games. So I might go a little bit more overweight on him. That does it, folks. Good luck this week. You can find us in our Discord chat. It's a premium featured product at dfskarma.com. All the content's on there. That does it. Good luck this week. We'll talk to you guys next week.